Napoleon, The Road to Austerlitz 1804 to 1805. In December 1804, inside the Grand Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of the French. Europe had never witnessed such a meteoric rise, from the son of poor Corsican nobility to ruler of France in barely a decade. Revolution and war had paved his way to power. And war would define his reign, a relentless struggle that would engulf the continent, claim millions of lives and reshape Europe forever. 8 months after his coronation, the French Empire and its Spanish ally were locked in war with Britain. Napoleon gathered 180,000 men on the Channel coast, ready to invade. But as long as the Royal Navy ruled the seas, invasion was impossible. Nor could Britain challenge Napoleon's armies on land. So, Prime Minister William Pitt turned to Britain's traditional weapons, diplomacy and gold, to build a new coalition against France. Britain would become Napoleon's most determined enemy, its press mocking him mercilessly as the self-crowned emperor. For Pitt and Europe's monarchs, Napoleon represented everything they feared: the child of revolution, a destroyer of thrones. Austria, humiliated by years of French victories, burned for revenge. The final insult came when Napoleon crowned himself King of Italy in 1804. That year, Britain, Austria, Russia, Sweden, and Naples formed the Third Coalition, uniting to crush France once and for all. Their plan? Massive, coordinated offensives from all directions. But Napoleon learned of their intentions, and struck first. He renamed his army La Grande Armée, and sent it racing to the River Rhine. His first target, the Austrian army under General Mack, stranded deep inside Bavaria, far from its allies. Murat's cavalry staged feint attacks through the Black Forest, while the rest of the army swept around to encircle Mack from the north. In 1805, Napoleon's army was at its peak, highly trained, supremely confident, and newly organized into corps, self-contained mini-armies of 15 to 30,000 men, each with infantry, cavalry, artillery, and engineers. This system allowed rapid, flexible movement. Corps could march independently, live off the land, and regroup for battle with astonishing speed. Mack didn't grasp the danger until it was too late. Napoleon's troops crossed the Danube behind him, cutting off his retreat. Outmaneuvered and surrounded, Mack surrendered at Ulm on October 19. Nearly 60,000 Austrians were taken prisoner, a stunning French victory just 6 weeks into the war. But one Allied army still remained, the Russians under the cautious General Kutuzov. His men had marched 900 miles and were exhausted. Learning of Ulm's disaster, Kutuzov retreated east, pursued relentlessly by Napoleon. Vienna fell to the French on November 12. The Allies regrouped at Olmütz, joined by both Emperor Alexander of Russia and Emperor Francis of Austria. Napoleon, determined to end the war swiftly, sought one decisive battle. He found it near the town of Austerlitz. It was December 2, 1805, exactly 1 year since his coronation. Dawn broke over a cold, misty battlefield. The Allied army, roughly equal in number, held the high ground of the Pratzen Heights. Believing Napoleon's right flank to be weak, they planned to smash it, then sweep around and crush his army. But this was exactly what Napoleon wanted them to do. As the Allies advanced into the mist, the French right fought desperately to hold on. Then, as the sun broke through, Napoleon unleashed his counterstroke. Marshal Soult's corps surged forward and stormed the Pratzen Heights. Fierce hand-to-hand fighting followed. By late morning, the French had seized the heights, splitting the Allied army in two. To the north, savage cavalry battles raged as Lannes' corps and the Imperial Guard fought off repeated Russian attacks. At the center, the Russian Guard countercharged, even capturing a French Eagle standard, but Napoleon threw in his own Guard cavalry. After brutal fighting, the French prevailed. By mid-afternoon, the Allied left was collapsing. Surrounded and desperate, many tried to escape across frozen ponds, only for French cannon fire to shatter the ice beneath them. Hundreds perished in the freezing water, though later propaganda exaggerated the toll. The Battle of Austerlitz, the Battle of the Three Emperors, was a masterpiece. Napoleon had annihilated the Third Coalition in a single day. He captured over 10,000 prisoners, 45 standards, and forced Austria to sue for peace, surrendering territory and paying a 40 million franc indemnity. Yet even as Napoleon celebrated his triumph, grim news arrived from the sea. Off Cape Trafalgar, Britain's Admiral Lord Nelson had destroyed the Franco-Spanish fleet, dying in victory, but securing British naval dominance for a century. Britain ruled the waves. Napoleon ruled the land. The whale and the elephant, each supreme in its own realm, yet unable to destroy the other. When William Pitt heard of Austerlitz he said, "Roll up that map of Europe. It will not be wanted these 10 years." He was right. Europe's long war had only just begun.